Karen's sneer could curdle milk, and her voice carried the kind of venom that made horses shy away. On that dusty Wyoming ranch, she was a storm cloud in flip-flops, ready to rain misery on anyone who dared exist near her. It was supposed to be a peaceful Saturday. The Rolling Hills Ranch, a sprawling spread of golden fields and weathered barns, hosted a community day for families, complete with pony rides and hay bales. My son, Ethan, 9 years old and autistic, was in his element, clutching his favorite toy horse, whispering to it as if it could gallop right out of his hands. His world was small, safe, and filled with the rhythm of routine until Karen waddled into it. Karen, all 300 pounds of her, had been barking orders since she arrived. She wasn't even a guest. She was a local busybody who'd shown up to supervise, as she put it, because the ranch owner owed her a favor. Her neon pink visor and overstretched yoga pants screamed entitlement, and her voice shrill, like a kettle left too long on the stove cut through the laughter of kids. "Move it, kid," she snapped at Ethan, who was lining up for a pony ride. He didn't respond. He rarely did when overwhelmed. He just rocked slightly, humming to his toy horse, lost in his private world. That's when it happened. Karen's meaty hand swung down, smacking Ethan's cheek with a crack that echoed like a gunshot. His toy horse fell into the dirt, and he froze, eyes wide, hands flapping in distress. The crowd gasped. A ranch hand, a wiry guy named Jake, stepped forward, but Karen was already on a roll. "This brat's holding up the line," she bellowed, jabbing a finger at Ethan. "Some parents need to leash their kids." I wasn't there at that exact moment. I was across the field, crouched behind a barn, binoculars in hand, wired up with surveillance gear. I'm a federal agent, working a low-key sting on a smuggling ring using the ranch as a front. My cover was as a quiet dad, blending in with the families. But my eyes were always scanning. When I heard the commotion and saw Ethan's red cheek through my lens, my blood turned to ice. Karen didn't know it, but she'd just made the worst mistake of her life. I forced myself to stay calm, switching my earpiece to record. Every word, every gesture. She was digging her own grave. Ethan was crying now, soft whimpers that broke my heart. But he didn't run. He just stood there, staring at his toy horse in the dirt, too scared to pick it up. Jake, the ranch hand, knelt beside him, whispering something gentle, while his coworker, a woman named Maria, squared up to Karen. "You don't touch a kid like that," Maria shouted, her hands on her hips. Karen laughed a grating, mocking sound. "Oh, please. That kid's defective. He shouldn't be out here ruining everyone's day." The crowd murmured, some stepping back, others whispering in outrage. A mom nearby hugged her own child closer, shaking her head. Karen didn't care. She doubled down, pointing at Ethan. If his dad's around, he ought to be ashamed, letting him act like that. I was moving now, weaving through the crowd, my badge tucked under my jacket. Years of training kept my face neutral. But inside, I was a volcano. Karen's words were a match to dry grass, and the fire was spreading. Maria, bless her, wasn't backing down. "You're the one who should be ashamed," she spat. "Hitting a child. What's wrong with you?" Karen's face twisted into a smirk. "I'm teaching him a lesson his parents clearly won't. Discipline. Honey, look it up." She turned to the crowd, expecting support, but found only glares. A few phones were out, recording. Good. Evidence was piling up. I reached Ethan, kneeling to pick up his toy horse. Hey, buddy, I whispered, handing it to him. His small hands grabbed it, and he pressed it to his chest, still shaking. You're okay. I'm here. He didn't look at me. Contact isn't his thing, but he leaned into my shoulder. And that was enough. Standing, I faced Karen. She sized me up, her eyes narrowing. You the dad? About time you showed up. Your kid's a problem. I kept my voice low. Steady. You put your hand on my son. She scoffed, crossing her arms. And he needed it. You gonna cry about it? The crowd was silent now, watching. Jake and Maria stood nearby, ready to step in. I could have flashed my badge right then, ended it, but I wanted her to keep talking. Every word was another nail in her coffin. You think it's okay to hit a child? I asked, my tone calm but sharp, like a blade hidden in silk. He was in the way. Karen snapped. I'm not running a daycare here. I've got rights. Rights? Maria cut in, incredulous. You assaulted a kid. Karen rolled her eyes. Assault? Oh. Grow up. It was a tap. He's fine. Ethan wasn't fine. He was rocking faster now, humming louder. His safe world shattered. I wanted to scoop him up and leave. But this wasn't just about him anymore. Karen's arrogance. Her cruelty, it was a poison that needed to be drained. I tapped my earpiece, signaling my team nearby. You're on camera, I said quietly. And you're done. Her smirk faltered. Camera? What? You some kind of cop? I pulled out my badge, holding it up so the sunlight caught the seal. Federal agent. You just assaulted my son in front of witnesses, on a property under surveillance for a federal investigation. Congratulations. Karen, you're under arrest. Her face went pale, then red, then pale again. This is ridiculous. She screeched, backing up. I didn't do anything. He's lying. She pointed at Ethan, then me, then the crowd. You're all in on this, aren't you? This is a setup. Jake snorted. Lady, you set yourself up. The crowd parted as two of my team members approached, cuffs in hand. Karen's bravado crumbled. She tried to run well. Waddlebutt tripped over a hay bale, landing in the dirt with a thud that sent dust flying. The crowd didn't laugh. They just watched, stone-faced, as my team hauled her up. You can't do this, she screamed, her voice cracking. I know people. I'll sue. Good luck with that, I said, kneeling beside Ethan again. You okay, buddy? He nodded, still clutching his horse. I looked up at Karen, now cuffed and red-faced. You picked the wrong kid to mess with. As they dragged her away, the crowd erupted in murmurs, some shocked, some satisfied. Maria walked over, her eyes soft. I'm so sorry about your boy, she said. He didn't deserve that. Neither did you, I replied. Thanks for standing up to her. Jake joined us, tipping his hat. Karma's a hell of a thing, ain't it? I nodded, watching Karen disappear into a van. Karma. Sure. But I wasn't done. The footage from my gear, the witness statements, the phone video set was enough to bury her. Assault, child endangerment, and, if my hunch was right, maybe even a tie to the smuggling ring. We'd find out soon enough. The ranch went quiet again, the tension fading like dust settling. Ethan tugged my sleeve, pointing at a pony nearby. "Can I ride now?" he asked, his voice small but steady. I smiled, ruffling his hair. "Yeah, buddy. Let's go." As we walked to the corral, I thought about Karen, sitting in a holding cell, probably still screaming about her rights. She'd learned soon enough that actions have consequences, especially when you mess with a kid like Ethan. The world doesn't owe you a thing, but it'll sure as hell collect when you cross the line.